Hi everybody, once again we meet, and here today I've got a poem to tell you. This poem impressed me while I was teaching in class 10th, and the name of the poem is The Cold Within. It's written by James Patrick Kenley, a very good writer, and don't take it as a poem. It impressed my heart a lot, so I thought let me share it with all of us, and we have got a lot to learn from this. So I'll read the poem. I'm explaining it. It's not that I'm teaching this poem, but yes, let's enjoy it. What it says. It says that this 6 humans trapped by happenstance in bleak and bitter cold. Each one possessed a stick of wood, or so the story is told. There are 6 people who were actually stuck up in a place. Now, this says 6 humans. That means the poet is saying that they're individuals. They were not friends. They're not just gone for a party or a picnic and all. They're 6 humans, and but just by chance they happened to be at one place. And it was a very biting and bitter cold that night, and they were all sitting down. But remember one thing: each of them had a log of wood in their hand. Now, see, this is the story that's told. Now, let's see what happens. The dying fire in need of logs, but the first one held her back. For off the face around the fire, she noticed one was black. You see, the first thing that this lady noticed, she was going to put the fire was going out. She wanted to put the log, but immediately she noticed there was a guy over there who was black. She was a racist. You see, she had color discrimination within herself. See, many a times, just because people are for different caste, creed, we just don't want to help them at all. He's a black. Now, this poem was written in Ohio, so that is why there's so much of black and white people were there. So the moment she wanted to put the log to it, she saw there was a black man guy. She held it back. The next man, looking across the way, saw one not of his church, and could not bring himself to give the fire his stick of birch. He had a stick of birch in his hand, and as he was going to go, ye banda, he's not from our church. He's from not my caste. He's from not my creed. Okay. He's not my type. Okay. And immediately when he saw this guy is not of his church, you see, he was a religious discriminator. He immediately said, no, this guy is not of my church. Why should I put the fire? The third man sat in tattered clothes. He gave his coat a hitch. Why should his log be put to use? To warm the idle rich? The third fellow was a poor man. He said, why should I put my log inside? To warm the idle rich? I'll never do that. Okay, so he said that. The rich man sat back and thought of all the wealth he stored and how to keep what he had earned from lazy, shiftless poor. The next fellow was a rich man. He said he was just calculating how he earned such a lot of his money and how he could keep that money. You see, the Bible says, where your wealth and riches are, there your mind is going to be. And he was only in such a dilapidated condition when they were dying. He did not put that log of wood inside it. He just held on to it. Just because, why should he do it for the lazy poor? The black man's face by spoke revenge as the fire passed his sight. And all he saw in his stick of wood was a chance to spite the white. He had this piece of wood, and his face, you could read it from that face, that anger, that bitterness. And he said, he's not going to use this to flame the fire. He just wanted to kill that man with it. The last man of this fall-on group, what a funny thing, fall-on group. Fall-on means loneliness, and group means a group of people. In grammatical language we call this an oxymoron. The fall-on group did not except for gain. He did nothing except for gain. Giving one of those who gave was how he played the game. He said, Bhaiya, aap mere liye kuch karoge, to main aapke liye karunga. Now he said, none of the 5 people had put the wood. Why should I put my piece of wood? He did not want to put his wood. Now see what happens. Their logs held tight in death's still hands was proof of human sin. They did not die from the cold without. They all died with the cold within. You see, they all died from the cold within. Friends, none of them died because of the weather condition. They died because they were cold within. Each of them had a log in their hand. You see, God has given us time, God has given us talent, and God has given us treasure. It is not for us at all. It is to keep the flame of the world burning. We need to change our hearts. We need to change our hearts. You see, we cannot run our hearts on things like selfishness, on prejudice, on malice, on suspicion. These cannot dictate our hearts. You see, God has given us a heart of love, peace, and joy. When many of us are discriminating people on the grounds of race, religion, caste, gender, and ethnicity. But I just leave you with a Bible verse that God says over here. It is taken from the book of Ezekiel, chapter 36 and verse 26. I think, yeah. He said, I will give you a new heart. I will put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you the heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. We just pray that God gives each one of us a heart of flesh, so that whatever we have, let not those logs. Next morning when they got up, everybody was dead. And when the people landed over there, they found them all with their logs of hand. Had they used that logs that were in the hand to flame the fire early in the morning, all of them would be alive. Friends, whatever talents God has given you, please use it for others. Whatever God has given in your hand, use it for others. Nobody is useless in this world, and everybody is a masterpiece. Remember, you are a masterpiece. So if you're going through a bad time, just tell yourself, you are a masterpiece. God bless you. Remember the gold within. Bye-bye. Take care.